Good stuff there. LeBron James, now a two-time champ and a two-time NBA Finals MVP. ESPN's Brian Windhorst has been following LeBron since high school. Earlier on Sportscenter, he talked about LeBron's evolution from phenom to champion.
It was very fitting that this game, really the best shooting game of LeBron's career when you consider the stakes, it was fitting that it happened against the Spurs because it was 6 years ago this month that the Spurs embarrassed LeBron in that finals in 2007, where they backed off of him and dared him to shoot, and he failed miserably. He was awful, and that really convinced him he had to get into the gym in the offseason and work. And it's been a long-term process. He's gone through shooting coaches, changes to his form. He's gone through situations where he struggled a little bit, but obviously you can see, and the numbers show, he has gotten so much better on that shot. He had the best shooting season of his career, and it led him to be in position to deliver the best shooting game of his career in a huge spot last night against that same Spurs team.
Hey, Brian, it's the moment this power threesome hooked up in Miami, so much pressure on this team to win and win immediately. They got the title last year. There was talk that the big three felt relieved. What's the overarching emotion now after they repeat?
I think it's satisfaction. You know, last year there was so much pressure on them after having lost in the finals in 2011 to the Mavericks. They just wanted to prove that their marriage down here was worthwhile. Everything they went through was going to pay off. And so when they got that title last year and were able to beat the Thunder, that was just overwhelming relief. And this year, to beat a team like the Spurs, who they have so much respect for, to repeat, to do it in such a grand fashion, winning Game 7 in the conference finals, winning Game 7 in the finals, satisfaction that their team is a great team and maybe an all-time great team.
Of course, satisfaction, not a good word when you want to try to do it again the next year. You don't want to be satisfied. Lots of decisions to be made about the Heat's roster now that they've won back-to-back. What do you expect will be Miami's biggest move this offseason?
Well, they're going to keep the core of the team together. A couple of guys have to decide whether they're going to come back on their own. Ray Allen, who I think is leaning towards returning, but he has an option in his contract. They have to decide whether they're going to amnesty Mike Miller or not. The luxury tax makes it hard to keep him, but he's obviously still a valuable player for them. But the big thing is they need to add rebounding, and they don't have a lot of money to do it. And I think one of the guys they may look at is Greg Oden, who sat out this past year getting his knee healthy and has showed the interest in coming back to the NBA. That's the kind of low-risk, high-reward maneuver that the Heat can afford and the Heat need to gamble on. Same sort of move they went after Chris Anderson this year. Again, low-risk, high-reward possibility. And I think they'll try to bring Chris Anderson, who's a free agent, back as well, but expect them to reach out to Greg Oden very soon, if they haven't already, to see if he's interested in coming to Miami.
What a story that would be, the former #1 overall pick joining that crew down there in South Beach. Brian Windhorst has been covering the Heat all season through this entire run since LeBron James went down to Miami, joining us today on SportsCenter.